What's going on there, guys? Good evening. Earthmaster here on the live stream with an update video on this beautiful Wednesday evening, September 8th, 2021, about 9:15 West Coast time here in California. Latest quake on the globe is going to be a 5.0 right around the South Sandwich Islands area. Seeing a little bit of uptick in earthquake activity in this region, aftershock activity, I should say, over the last 24 hours or so. Also some movement striking in the southern part of the Pacific, just off the coast of South America. Seeing a little cluster of movement out there. And it looks like a 5.0 appears to be the largest in that little cluster of earthquakes out there in the Pacific Ocean. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on out here on the world map. Well, there's the sun. We'll get back to that in a second. We got a lot of interesting activity kicking up there in the solar weather department. Checking out the latest USGS map here. Shows a 2.8 into looks like the Sierra Nevada area, right around the Antelope Valley region where all this earthquake activity is taking place. 2.8 in that little cluster of earthquakes. Also Long Valley supervolcano kind of showing a line of activity just to the west of the caldera. Some microquakes kicking off into that region of California. Also Ridgecrest tonight. Ridgecrest actually looks pretty darn quiet. We haven't seen it this thin, and thin meaning lack of aftershocks here, for quite a while. It's only just a handful of quakes around the Ridgecrest area. We are seeing some further movement along the Garlock fault structure near Mojave. A little bit of aftershock or microquake activity occurring in this region, as well as down south here. Seeing a little bit of heightened movement around the Imperial Fault system there. It looks like a 3.0, the largest quake in that area. Also around Nevada, had a 3.3 way out there, north of Las Vegas, probably around area, I don't know, where's Area 51 at? Isn't Area 51 somewhere around here? This earthquake striking around Warm Springs. I wonder what that means. Probably some heating going on underneath the ground there, especially with a town such as Warm Springs. A whole bunch of hot springs, I'm guessing. I've been out here. It's just been a while since I've been out in this part of Nevada. Anyway, 3.3, 4.1 kilometers below surface for that earthquake, and also some further movement up into the Pacific Northwest and the Intermountain West regions. And I believe a new swarm of activity occurring right around the Yellowstone National Park area. This is south of the caldera region. Normally, at least from what I've seen, we've seen swarms in the past up here around the northwest, Lake Yellowstone, over here towards the northeast. I haven't seen any swarming activity that I've been studying Yellowstone for a while in this region, so it's kind of interesting to watch. What do we got? About 11 earthquakes or so showing up in this area of Yellowstone National Park near Worm River. It's kind of odd, right? Worm River, Warm Springs, over there in Nevada, right? What's going on with all this lingo? So we'll look at Yellowstone graphs here in a little bit. I'll show you the activity that's showing up there. Also some further movement up here near Hebgen Lake. A couple small microquakes around that region. Also some activity around Helena, stretching up into parts of Montana north of Missoula and Pacific Northwest. A little bit of earthquake activity around Mount Rainier. Seattle looks pretty high and dry, pretty quiet right now for the earthquake department. And some further movement up here to the Gulf of Alaska, kind of stretching over towards that Phantom 6.5 area. Actually, I think it was down here a little bit further where that 6.5 didn't take place. A couple small microquakes around that region. Also, this area we've been watching here over the past week or so. Still seeing some activity there over the last 24. Meanwhile, Pacific Northwest, or the northwest part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, remains quiet and somewhat quiet through the Papua New Guinea region, Solomon Islands, and a little deeper movement over here around Fiji with a 4.3 at 562 kilometers below surface. Some pretty deep movement there. Also a little bit of activity around the Tahikistan region with the 5.3. Zooming into Hawaii shows, well, quite a bit of scattered after scattered earthquake activity. This here is typical normal in this region. Seen some further movement around the Kilauea crater and also up here around Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea. I believe hopefully that's how you pronounce it. I haven't seen a whole lot of movement up here, so haven't really had to say that volcano too often. Still 2.5. Got to keep an eye on this area. Big Island showing some movement. What do we got? Oh, what just popped up? A 5.4 just popped up here as I was talking about it being quiet over here. Unless it was always there. I don't know. I don't think I'd miss that. I think that just came in, didn't it? Anyway, south of Japan, right around the Philippine Plate area, Pacific Plate. Japan Trench. It looks like it's, well, Japan Trench is up here. This is the, I don't even know how even to attempt. I'd have to turn my head sideways and then no telling what. I'll let you guys read this trench area right here. It's kind of right along that too. Somewhat below it into the subduction zone, about 32 kilometers. Is that Izu or Luzu Trench? All right, working our way back over here into the southern Pacific Ocean. There's that swarm of activity, a pretty good cluster of earthquakes in this region. 5.6 appears to be the largest, quite a few 5s and 4s in this area. Might be something to watch. A little bit of movement further to the west as well. Peru Chile Trench somewhat quiet, a little bit of deeper movement here into the trench area, the Peru Chile Trench near Chile. 141 kilometers below surface for that earthquake. Also some movement up here around the Amazon Basin east of Peru. 4.8. Let's see here. Puerto Rico looks somewhat quiet. Not a whole lot of movement over here tonight, folks. A little bit of movement off the coast of Mexico. Still some aftershock activity occurring there where the 7-pointer struck. Just a couple 4s. And also some further movement. Kind of a larger earthquake out there around the Pecos, Texas area. We've been watching 3s and 2s and whatnot occur in this area for quite a while. That's the 2.5 and above to show the all magnitudes here, and you can see the amount of earthquakes that are taking place here in this region. It's been happening for a couple months. I'm not for sure exactly what's going on out there. There is a fault system that is out there. Looks like it could be a little bit more active than what folks have thought. It's not shown up here on this map, but there is, trust me, there's a fault system in this region. Also, there's a lot of pumping operations and fracking operations in this area as well. But kind of getting up there in the magnitudes with a 4.2 kicking off here today. Let's see what we got as far as the largest magnitudes over the last 30 days here. I don't think we've seen a 4-pointer yet. Oh, never mind. We'll take that back. There was a 4.3 a few days ago there. But they're just not too common. Mostly 2s and 3s and microquakes. But the 4s are starting to show up there on numbers on that list. Let's see what else we got here. The rest of Texas looks pretty quiet, except for a little one around Midland and Oklahoma getting in on some fracking operation earthquakes as well. New Madrid Fault area pretty quiet tonight. Working our way back to Yellowstone. Let's go ahead and check out that movement around the Yellowstone area. On the Yellowstone thumbnails, you can see the well, there's a little loss of data here on most of these stations in the northwest area of the Yellowstone Park, but we did pick up some activity here around the Pitchstone Plateau area. You can see all this earthquake activity popping up in this region. Quite a few spikes of earthquakes. Also showing up here around Flag Ranch, a little bit further south. This is more likely the earthquake activity that the USGS is showing, but there is, as you can see, other earthquakes taking place in this region on this area, I believe on this station as well. But this one here, pretty localized. This is kind of the southern end of the caldera, Yellowstone caldera area, and right around the area where the USGS is reporting a little earthquake activity. Since then, there's definitely some smaller quakes, possibly deeper earthquakes as well, taking place in the same region, but diminishing over the past couple hours. But still something to keep an eye on for sure. Check out the sun. The sun is blaring with some solar flares. Looking pretty active with sunspots. Let's go ahead and check out the latest here on the solarham.net website. You can see some of the Sunspots numbered out here. A lot of these are looking pretty interesting. This one here is looking really nice, 2868. Another spot over here. These right here are the ones that we have to worry about. They're directly facing Earth at the moment, and they look pretty dynamic in terms of producing a potential solar flare. Possibly significant one from this one. Go ahead and check out the forecast. It looks like at least a 75% chance flare. That's bound to happen for sure. 20% chance of a M flare. X flare, they have this at 1, but I think something to keep an eye on. Right now, KP indexes, geomagnetic field looks pretty quiet. There is a little bit of heightened auroras up north in the higher latitudes, but right now everything looks pretty minimal. But I don't think that's going to last for long. Spaceweather.com has a pretty cool little article here. Today began with an explosion on the sun. AR 2864, which is the one that's kind of up here, unleashed a C2 class solar flare. Then there was another one from 2866, which is the one just to the west. That caused a C8 flare, which explosion caused a brief shortwave blackout, which is pretty, well, I think it's cool. I kind of like it when it interferes with radio and whatnot, communications. But anyway, jury's still out. Looks like on a possible CME. If it was produced, it's definitely Earth-directed. 2868 here. This one I'm kind of keeping an eye on. Doesn't look like it hasn't really produced anything yet, but I think the dynamics are there for something to pop off. Looks pretty interesting here on the solar image as well. See this area. Either way, sun's waking up, folks. That's a fact. Something we're going to have to deal with. In fact, to be honest, I mean, communications, yes, I like my cell phone. I'm pretty dependent on my computer. I like my computer. That's how I run this channel, so it would suck to lose that. But as far as my cell phone and all that stuff, I don't know. I kind of want to go back to the olden days, you know, the older days, back when people played outside and got dirty and, you know, went down to the creek and went fishing and all that stuff, you know, all that fun stuff. All right, Pacific Northwest Trimmer Department. Let's go ahead and check this out here real quick. 37 epicenters of tremor. Looks like the area up here to the north around the Seattle area is diminishing. And that's kind of why we've seen a lack of earthquake activity in this area, except for a couple small microquakes in the Cascade volcanoes. But for the most part, activity picking up again into the southern Oregon area, kind of towards the Coast Range, and also into northern California, southern end of the Cascadia. All this movement down dip downstream, creating a little bit of slippage with the Juan de Fuca plate and the North American plate there with some tremor along the Cascadia subduction zone. So viewer photos, I'm trying to catch up on it, folks. The update video I did earlier today has about 5 or 6 viewer photos, and I'm going to include some more as well with tonight's viewer photos that were sent in to me. I appreciate everyone that's sent in. I'm trying to catch up on them. I got kind of overloaded, folks. I still got 79 messages in my email box that I haven't read yet, so I will get to them. Santa Maria, California, a sunset from Jacob Smith. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Pretty awesome. What else here we got for images? These right here, these are pretty cool, let me tell you. These are one of my favorite clouds, if not my favorite cloud type, the Mattis type clouds from Tim Johns in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Of course, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Southern Plains area, right? They get all those thunderstorms, Tornado Alley. Except for it seems like Tornado Alley is kind of shifting east a little bit, southeast. But we'll see what happens in the coming years. But thank you so much, Tim Johns, for sending in that beautiful cloud image of Mattis. Some cold pooling up there, creating that kind of like the bowl effect from those clouds in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What else we got here, folks? Arnie Millen. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Taking the early morning. I can't remember exactly where this was at. I could have swore I included this. Where was this at? I'm trying to think here. Let me look and see if I can find that, because I know that UK, that's right, in the UK. I forgot to include that, but that image there from Arnie in the UK with that beautiful morning back in January. Nice colors to the clouds there. Appreciate that. Thanks for sending that in. Also, image there from Calvin in Los Angeles, California with a rainbow. It does rain in Southern California, right? There's no doubt it does. I think you guys get a little bit more rain than we do here, at least in the summertime when it comes to Northern California, Southern California. But thanks again there from Los Angeles sending that image in, Calvin. Also, we got an image here from, let's see if I can, I could have swore these were all set. Candace Prescott from Indiana. An image of the sun there with some smoke on the horizon, creating a pretty cool looking view. Thank you so much there, Candace, for sending that in as well. Let's see what else we got. Number 6, kick this up here. Santa Maria. Oh, wait a minute. We just seen that, didn't we? Could have swore we did. Jacob Smith. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Yes, we did. I'm pretty sure we did. Okay, so I included that twice. You're lucky you get to be included twice. Santa Maria. Let's see what else we got here, folks. I got one more here, and then I'm going to jump off of here. Check out this image here from Robert V. Anthem, Arizona. Some beautiful colors here. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit so you guys can see these awesome colors that he shot there in Arizona. Beautiful monsoonal greenage is something I love. I mean, Arizona is looking greener than Northern California right now. It's unreal. I think you guys received more rain down there than we did the entire winter last year. It's horrible here in Northern California, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful greenage there in Arizona. Robert V, I appreciate that image, and I appreciate everyone sending in all the images that I received. If I haven't shown yours yet, you may want to check the other update video I did earlier today. I included a few in there as well, and we'll eventually get to all of them. If you would like to show your like a prized image that you took or you think is really cool, whether it's nature, geology, bugs, you know, I'm kind of into all that stuff. I enjoy seeing all sorts of images. So send it to earthmastermail@gmail.com is my email, and we'll definitely try to include it on the update video, folks, because it's really cool. I like sharing, and I like seeing all these images that people are sending from all around the world. So get those images in if you want to be included here on the update video. All right, guys, have a good night. Stay safe out there, and we will chat you guys another time. Peace out.